Hello friends, we are finally nearing the end of summer and the beginning of autumn, and this time of year has always held such a special place in my heart, as it does signify the start of a new academic year, and that in itself brings in so much excitement of all the possibilities to come. Not to mention the upstream in of my favorite season. And in every phase of my life, I have either been a student or a teacher. And so, as melodramatic as it may sound, I really think that academia defines at least a part of who I am. And so, of course, I want to commemorate this time of year with books. By coupling my love of academics and my love of books that have darker themes or undertones to them, I think it stands to reason that I will really enjoy reading dark academia, though I've never actually read any of it. It hasn't been on purpose. It wasn't an active choice. I just, for whatever reason, have never picked it up. But today, that's going to change, because today we are reading my very first dark academia. For this one, I'm going to be reading These Violent Delights by Micah Nemerever. In this one, we follow two young men, Paul and Julian, during their freshman year at university in the 1970s. These two quickly form a friendship that spirals into this all-consuming, intimate obsession with one another, and somehow this obsession leads them to commit an unspeakable act of violence. Oh, are my glasses glaring? Maybe. Let's take them off. There, that's probably better. Put them down. Stay there. Okay, sorry, is that better? I know they were probably glaring. I always forget to take them off. Now, I have already started this book. I'm probably about, I don't know, a quarter way into it. So, just over the 100-page mark. And I'm not hooked on the characters or their relationship yet. But we have Paul, who is a very sad, depressed boy from a working class family, and that family has recently suffered a family trauma. And then we have Julian, who is a rich, seemingly effervescent, confident boy, but he has a knack for this cruel emotional and psychological manipulation, and his manipulation works particularly well on Paul, and Julian knows it. So while the obsession hasn't quite started yet, I can absolutely see where and how it can. So I'm not hooked on them or their relationship yet, but I am very intrigued by the prologue. So this book opens up right at the beginning of that act of violence, though we don't know exactly what it's going to be or what leads them to choose to commit the act of violence. That part I'm very interested in. I want to know, one, what's actually going to happen, but more importantly, I want to know why. What about them and their relationship with one another would lead them to commit such heinous acts. So that part I'm very interested in, and let's go find out. Well, I didn't have to read much further before the obsession started, and once it started, it did not stop. So I have finished this book. I didn't stop and give you a midpoint check-in because the plot of this book is so character focused that I really wasn't sure what I would be able to share. So I didn't share anything, or I didn't want to share anything until the end. And even now, I'm not sure what to share. So just in case, I'm going to leave a mild spoiler timestamp in the description. So if you want to read this book, maybe skip it just in case. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be a spoiler or what, because I don't have that much to say, but in any case, it'll be right down there. Okay, so this book did surprise me in that it completely turned my view of each boy on its head by the end. And I know I keep saying boy, they are in college, but they're only 17, so they are in fact boys. They are children. But it's just that in the beginning, I had one of the boys pegged as being the cruel, controlling mastermind behind it all. But by the end, it completely revealed the opposite, which was quite surprising. And the ending itself, the very last page of the book, was left on kind of a cliffhanger. Something happened at the very end that it was kind of muffled as to exactly what or how it happened. And so there was sort of that mystique or mystery-ish towards the end that kind of, it's like, what happened? Now, I did not love this book, but there were enough parts of it that I did enjoy, or enough elements of the Dark Academia that I enjoyed, that even though I didn't love this one, I think I'll still definitely be picking up more dark academia in the future. So this was not a complete bust. If you have made it to the end of the video, or at least to this point of the video, go ahead and leave me any kind of dark academia themed emoji. And as always, I thank you so much for being here, and I hope that means I see you soon.